I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, I didn't have health insurance. So like for me, just the fact that we have a home and food on the table, and I get to get in a car every morning and drive to work and pick up our kid from daycare, just enjoy life. It's the little things to me.
Life becomes more valuable when you have those high-level investments in each other. A home is like not a physical location for me. A home is truly the same thing as community.
Well, welcome back to the Discover Fort Smith podcast. My name is Josh Bufink with the City of Fort Smith, and today we're actually beginning the second episode in Season 2 of our podcast, continuing these conversations with people in and around our community. We're very excited to continue these conversations today, but sitting next to me is my good friend,
Hello.
Joe Klein.
Hello, friend. How are you?
Who's sitting in today for Ashley Backert from the CVB, and we're actually in Joe's podcast studio today. So thank you for letting us use this space.
Anytime, literally.
Awesome. Well, today we get the honor of interviewing our very special guests, Maddie and Dusan Stojanovic. Am I saying that right?
You got that right.
All right.
That's impressive.
But most people refer to you as Ducey. Am I right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So today we're going to get to hear a little bit about your Fort Smith story. So how did you guys... First off, Dusan, how did you end up in Fort Smith, Arkansas? Because you're not from here.
And what's your background? Where are you from too?
Yeah, so I'm originally from a little town outside of Belgrade, Serbia. So Belgrade is the capital. I grew up in a place called Lazarevac. You don't have to remember
I will
how to pronounce it.
I got Stojanovic right.
Yeah, you got it right. But I grew up there, and it was an amazing upbringing. We kind of talked before about that, but my brother actually ended up in Fort Smith first on a basketball scholarship at UAFS. Coach Josh Newman, that's credit to him. I don't know how he brought him here, but my brother ended up here. I remember, and Maddie knows this story, and some people probably heard me talk about that so many times, but at the time, we had dial-up internet at our house. And so, we hardly knew anything about Arkansas. Genuinely, my brother we would exchange emails. Skype wasn't, for us at least, on our end. Even Skype wasn't a thing for a year. And that's when we started to be able to talk to him.
I got to pause you. I'm so sorry because I'm a millennial. What's dial-up internet?
Whatever.
I'm not joking.
Are you serious?
Is it pay as you go, like a cell phone, but for internet?
No, it's like the internet that was connected to your phone, like a landline, and it's the one that you initiate and starts making that.
What?
Yeah.
No.
So if you were so let me let me.
I'm not
set
joking
this up.
about.
So AOL was probably the biggest.
AOL. Okay, yeah.
Here
you have
in the
emails
US.
through the right.
Yeah. So you would plug it into your phone line. You would unplug your phone. And if somebody in your house were to pick up the phone, it could disrupt your internet service. So you would yell across the hall who picked up the phone? You know what I mean?
That's
because
crazy.
You couldn't use the phone if you were using the internet simultaneously.
How long ago was this? I'm sorry.
So,
that just threw me.
He's extremely old.
Yeah. No, so for us, that was 2009, 2010.
Oh, yeah.
So again, my brother ended up here, and we talked, and I have a really great relationship with him. I'm really close to my brother, and so he had great things to say about this place. He talked about UFS and all the things that they were doing out there. Obviously, I played basketball too, and so through that connection, I ended up here in 2011. So I've almost been here about 15 years now.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of how I ended up here on a basketball scholarship.
So did you all get to play together, you and your brother, on the same team?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
that's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was kind of, I always tell people that was almost like borderline toxic, because because we overlapped for 2 years, and it hits different. Like when you're playing on a team, you always want to protect your teammate and all of that. But when you have your brother and you see somebody throw an elbow at your brother or something like that, it's there. So my brother got a couple of technicals over that kind of stuff because you always go out and try to protect your sibling out there and vice versa. So that was kind of fun, but borderline talks.
That's awesome.
So your first experience when you came, was it Fort Smith specifically, or what was your first experience?
So specifically, and again, a lot of these stories some people have probably heard, but we landed in XNA. And my knowledge of American culture and language just mainly came from American movies.
Yeah.
And the movies that we get movies that are portraying Boston, New York, LA. You see big skyscrapers, big high rises where people live in urban areas. And so we're landing at XNA in Bentonville. And mind you, this is 2011. So even XNA is not what it wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
And so you're driving down from there and it's, farmlands and everything. And I kept thinking I kept waiting for skyscrapers to start showing up, man. And I was like, that's weird. We pulled up to UAFS campus and I was like, I guess this is it.
So funny.
Yeah, so I really expected big urban areas. But I loved it ever since. It's been home to me and my family and all of that. But
nice. Yeah. And Maddie, are you from Fort Smith area? Okay.
Yeah, so born and raised in Fort Smith for the most part. When I was a little younger, through my dad's work, we had moved to Little Rock for some time, the Bryant area. But very, very soon thereafter, we ended up coming back to Fort Smith and graduated locally at Greenwood. And that was back in 2014. We did not have dial-up internet at that point. And then went to play volleyball at UAFS. And then that's actually where our paths crossed.
Oh, okay.
There. So actually, the first time that I got to see Ducey, I was in high school. You remember? I think I told you this story.
You told me, yeah.
I was in high school, and I went to a UAFS basketball game with a friend that I played volleyball with.
Yeah.
And, at the beginning of every basketball game, they do this thing where you have your walkout music.
Yeah.
And, you get ready and all pumped for the game and stuff. And it was funny because all of the guys had their own walk-up song. It wasn't just, one song and the whole team comes out. Well, the typical few songs first started playing and the guys were coming out, getting hyped for the game and stuff. And then a country song comes on out of nowhere. And this player comes walking through the tunnel with a cowboy hat and spins the coach's daughter and a completely different take. And my first thought was wow, I really hate country music. And then, literally, it dawned on me, after I met you, probably a few years later. And I did some creeping on social media just to make sure he was a legitimate guy and, we're Serbia. But yeah, so I got to the point where I realized, okay, wow, that was him. That was the first time I actually saw him.
So not the best first impression. So wait, are you a country music fan?
There's some songs that I love Keith Urban. There's some of his songs are just amazing. I think that was a Keith Urban song too. Shout out to Coach Chris Pope. He was the assistant coach. I actually spun his daughter.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's a still video out there on YouTube of that.
Yeah.
That was we call it Moonlight Madness. It was the first game of or first practice technically of the season. So they always made it into a big event, like a blue and white game kind of deal.
Yeah.
So we would all kind of get our opportunity to go out there. Autumn, which I've spun on that night, she just signed to go play volleyball at Wichita State.
Oh, wow.
Time flies. It's insane.
That's amazing.
That's really sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, so, but that, it obviously left an impression on you.
Yeah.
Because you were like, who is this guy?
I never have, cowboys, but...
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah.
No.
But Serbian cowboys.
Yeah, that's a new one for sure.
When you said all that, I was like, oh, someone from Texas is going to be coming out the tunnel. It was you.
Yeah.
It was him.
It's close.
Yeah.
5,000-6,000 miles.
I think the way that things transpired too, it was I mean, a couple years went by. And then when Ducey was actually getting ready to graduate, UAFS is when we had our first opportunity to actually meet and connect there. So our relationship has kind of been a series. Like the first 5 years, it was hard. We had a lot of series of like passing, and then the international aspect. It was difficult, that part of it too.
Yeah, that part was quite challenging. I gotta say, Maddie was one of those. I tell people, I hope you don't mind if I say this too, but she was always that girl that was always in a relationship. So when we met in college, she was in a relationship, but then later on, when I talked to her, I found out that she was single, and I was like, that's gonna be my wife.
Oh, sweet.
Wow.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
That's how. I mean, it worked out. So
Yeah.
So when did you guys get married?
2018.
2018.
Yeah.
Awesome.
December 1st, 2018. So about to be 7 years in a couple weeks.
Was your first utility bill together a dial-up?
Me and Joe, that hurts.
Jeez. Shots
Oh,
fired.
you're killing me. Somebody get this millennial out of here.
Hey, I had graduated high school by then. I was in college.
Yeah.
wow.
That's funny. You mentioned culture, so my mind's kind of been thinking about that. You were talking about how you had an idea of what American culture was. So I would love to contrast that with what it actually was through your experience here at UAFS, because you had this movie idea, which is maybe where the country music came from. And then you got here. What was that like? What was the culture like?
Yeah. So again, we kind of, with all the media portrayals, you just assume that Americans tend to be a little bit loud and obnoxious and aggressive, and
Only
that
some
kind
of us are.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I've turned that way too. I've been here long enough that I can take that on. But you kind of have this, like almost like a warped reality of what people are supposed to be like, and so you come here, and I hate to say it that way too, but a lot of people that come from other continents or countries, they come with a bit of a block up, or they kind of expect that kind of stuff. But my experience was complete opposite, and I always tell people the biggest reason why I loved it here so much were the people, because when you're from another country, you're here. My brother and I didn't have any family here, and I mean, I can say it, like our parents, even when they worked before they retired, you're making 10 times less than people do here. So we couldn't expect them to take care of us.
Yeah.
And so when we were in college, this amazing family essentially took us in to be our host parents and host family. And they've had 2 daughters and a son, and, to take on 2 more kids from random country in Europe. And they always took us in for Thanksgiving dinners, Christmas. It was always the little things that, like I remember they bought me, one of the Christmas, they bought me a PJ. I still think to this day that was sweatpants. So I wore them as sweatpants, but somebody once told me, they're like, dude, those are PJs. You don't need to be wearing those in public. But anyway, it was like,
Many people do.
Yeah, I mean, I noticed.
You probably could.
They were just like plain white pants, and I loved it so much. And it really, it was those kinds of little things that just warmed my heart up. It's not big stuff, again, but it was just the fact that they were there for us every step of the way. They moved to Northwest Arkansas later on, so we didn't get to see them as often. But that was the first, and they actually picked me up from the airport in 2011.
Oh, nice.
And so they've been such kind family. And then from there, you kind of start to meet more people, and you play basketball, and so you obviously get to know some people around there through school, through involvement in the community and stuff. And so you slowly transition into more relationships with people, and you just realize people around here are just generous with their time. They're kind. They're generous with their money. Typically, like it's just such a wholesome community. people pour into you, and then you just feel like you want to live in that kind of community, you know? So
Now, Maddie, did you imagine, was your game plan or your trajectory to stay here in Fort Smith after you graduated from UAFS, or were you planning to go somewhere else?
So even I think back to when I was graduating from high school.
Yeah.
And, huge decisions, right? Like, where am I going to go study? What am I going to go study? And what's next? And I hate to say it this way, but I did always think, like, I wanted to do bigger, better, like, what's next? What's out there? That curiosity.
Yeah.
Volleyball stuck, though. And I always say, like, it was such a God thing and his plan in my life to keep me here. And in so many ways, it's funny, like, never in a million years would I have thought that I would have married a Serbian, nor did I ever know where Serbia was. I was like, Siberia, Serbia, seriously. But I'm so thankful for the valuable life that Fort Smith has provided me. And I could spend hours talking about the people who I also feel like have invested in me and us, when you have the situation that we went through and the process of getting married or just making life work with different sorts of visas and not even a citizenship. There were times in our relationship where prior to marriage, like he had to maintain his visa status, he had to go back to school. Well, how do you pay for school? Because international students can't take out student loans. But also, as an international student, you can't get a job off campus. So there were just like all of these obstacles that I felt like were against us so many times. Like, I think we got to the point where, like, if this works out, it was like 100% meant to be, because it seems like all the cards are stacked against us that way.
Yeah, and before I went back to school too, like Maddie traveled to meet my family to Serbia, and so at that time my visa had expired, and I applied for a new one, and so it's a weird thing. It is a God thing. I mean, I believe that God set that up to happen that way. I truly believe that, because I don't know how else to explain it, because I can go into really minute details here. But the way that things came together for us is just amazing. I can spend an hour talking about that, because for me to go back to school and to get my visa approved, I had to get accepted into grad school program at U of A. For me to pay for grad school program, I had to get a teaching assistantship. So you get one approved, then you get your visa approved. Maddie left Serbia, and I was still there before they ever approved my visa. Yeah. So like we were going to the airport, and we were like,
really hard.
That was, I'm sure that was emotional. Yeah.
At that point, I think we'd been dating a year and a half or two. I had just had 3 weeks in the best time of my life, knowing I want to marry this guy. And then they dropped me off at the airport, and then they went to the embassy. So I was on a 6-hour flight to Austria when y'all were literally going to see if his visa was approved to ever come back to the States. Like, it was a lot to process, but I think back and, of course, so grateful that we're here. It's a blessing, but also in every step of the way, we could not have done it without our community, because you think about the jobs, the opportunities that Ducey was provided. The first year of our marriage, he didn't have a work permit, so we were on a one household income, and that was my entry-level role right out of college. But then after that, like, it was amazing to see how you landed a job at UAFS and they welcomed you back, and you still work there part-time, but just all of the opportunities in the region that you were given to and to really just follow the constraints that he was given.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. And I don't know that there's another community out there that would really support you through those obstacles.
Yeah.
But then do it with such like grace and generosity. And I think, again, that just points right back to the heart of this community and the people here. And yeah, it's an amazing place.
Yeah, it's one of those things, because we were on one household income, and I was at home a lot. And I was just finding things to go out and volunteer and do things just to keep myself busy as I was applying for a green card and things of that nature. But it's the fact that you almost feel people's presence, like people check in on you. You have some people you can make a phone call to and have a conversation, and you just feel like you're home. You don't have everything figured out yet, but you have that warm and fuzzy feeling of being in a community and knowing that something goes wrong, somebody will step up and help you out in a really weird way. I don't know, like you almost feel like you have a safety net.
And then, okay, so fast forward through about 5 years of marriage, we get to a point in life where we're like, okay, we're getting more serious of having a family. What's next in this season, and that, Lord knows, that takes an entire community to get you through. But we are excited to find out we're expecting. 9 months later, we bring home our little bundle of joy. And then 2 weeks after that, we received a message from the State Department that there was some abnormal blood work that had come back for our little boy. And it's something that I think we have been so blessed to have our health our whole lives. So, like, we never really would have expected to get anything different. And so when that came, we're like, what is this? We have to explore it a little more. Well, through a series of visits to, like, the local children's hospitals in Little Rock and Northwest Arkansas, we learned that there was an abnormal test result that had come back that described that maybe his immune system was, like, completely absent. So it's called SCID, S-C-I-D, but it took us 6 months. It took us 6 months of being in a space where, I mean, to give you all kind of a perspective, like, we walked into this doctor's room and the doctor was, like, completely scrubbed out, like, did not want to contaminate us or him. And we were like, what in the world's happening? And so we lived in, like, total isolation, like COVID times 10 is what it felt like. And then so that we lived in, like, total isolation. I had to go back to work after about 3 months. And the amount of meals that people delivered to our front door. The just calls, the check-ins. For people like us who rely on other people, like, we love community. Another reason why we love being here, but to have been so isolated and then to have endured and, like, had to put ourselves in that place of, like, just being totally scared that something was going to happen with Luca. That was really hard. And he is a totally fine little boy, and we are so lucky to have him. Everything is okay. But just the time frame that 6 month time frame was one of the hardest of our lives. I would definitely the hardest of our marriage. But
Yeah, for sure.
After everything y'all been through, going through all that with your kid, and even through the marriage difficulties, with you being from a different place, a different home, how would y'all both individually, how would you describe home now after everything that you went through?
Oh, that's a good question, Joe.
It gives you great perspective. Like, I don't know if I'm answering your question properly at all, but I feel like I've been in a place where I didn't have a car, I didn't have a job, I didn't have health insurance. I had to rely on my brother to help me out on some things, and that's no fun. So, like, for me, just the fact that we have a home and food on the table, and I get to get in a car every morning and drive to work and pick up our kid from daycare and just enjoy life. I don't know if I'm answering that question properly, but it's the little things to me, you know, because it really, that perspective you gain from not having much or kind of feeling isolated, like you're the only person in this world dealing with this issue.
I think you definitely answered it. That makes a lot of sense, because everything that y'all described that this community has helped you with has been the little things. So when you say little things, it's actually the big things.
And then I definitely think that a home is like not a physical location for me. I think a home is truly the same thing as community. And, when I think about community and like the deeper meaning of it, not the geographical map of it, it leads me to a place of like, when you give and you receive at a high level, it's just, it builds this beautiful interaction and investment in each other. And I think that life becomes more valuable when you have those high level investments in each other. And, it is important to like surround yourself with other givers so that you can sustain those relationships. But to me, like, our home is here because we have people that invest in us and give to us. And we're so lucky and excited anytime we get to do that in return too. Whether it be time, energy, just texting, reaching out, checking in. It makes life so much more beautiful and more valuable.
And I've been reading a lot about, they're calling it a pandemic of loneliness here in the United States, where people are more isolated than ever before, whether that be because of social media or, being online more, whatever that is. But there's lots of opportunities here in Fort Smith to connect with other people. And it isn't just something that we should want to do. It's essential for our lives to be connected to other people. So thank you for sharing those stories. What ways are you guys connected in the community? Whether it be volunteering or whatnot.
So like I said, when I was jobless, that was, in a weird way, it was the best time to explore volunteer opportunities. So like I used to coach at Boys and Girls Club for a little while. I stopped after we just had a kid because it just takes up a lot of time, but that was one of the most rewarding experiences ever. And I talked to Beth about it. And eventually I'll go back to coaching once Luca is of age.
She won't let you forget it. I'm sure.
I wouldn't want her to.
As she shouldn't.
Yeah. But I also, I serve on the Literacy Council board, it's Literacy Council of Western Arkansas, as a treasurer. The organization is near and dear to my heart because it helps people that are not able to write or read properly. A lot of times it's English as second language speakers, people like me. My parents actually have a green card. They go there to learn the language, to connect with people, and they actually met some people out there, and it's just a great organization. And so it's near and dear to my heart because you can't even get a driver's license if you can't speak the language properly.
Right.
And so it's an amazing organization. It's on an up and up too.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's exciting. Awesome. I think when I look at like just connection to the community, I think for me it's definitely 8 to 5, but then much further past that.
Yeah. A
huge part of my day job at United Way is just uniting people and resources. So through that, we get to connect with 50, 60 companies every year. And then truly the employees of those companies, which is just my favorite part. It really is such a dynamic role because, one day you'll find yourself forward facing with the leadership of a team. And then the next day you're in the break room.
Right.
One of the many local manufacturers. And in fact, I was in a break room yesterday and just right down the street and was talking to a gentleman who moved here from New York. And his mom was here. His mom was back in New York, but he had moved here because his sister was here.
Yeah.
And he wanted his goal was to become a house owner. And he knew that he was never going to get to do that back home. And so there's so many valid reasons to make this community your home. But even more than those just rational reasons, the people here are just, they're top notch. But yeah, the way that I connect with the community, I'm thankful to have the opportunity to sit on several boards locally. Some of those are the University of Arkansas, Fort Smith. I think UAFS they gave us so much, of course, my life and my education and my husband. So there's like an alumni association, College of Business Association, and their new Center for Nonprofits. And so all of those I get to be a part of because I work in that nonprofit sector. And then also just, I think ways that we're connected are tennis and many other just athletic things. Ducey didn't mention it, but he was the treasurer of WADA for some time. Just rolled off that board and Fort Smith, you take a step out there and you get plugged in, and the rest is history.
If you want to get connected, you will get connected.
You will.
Yes.
It really is that simple.
Yeah.
It's really that simple. Because, like,
absolutely.
I mean, when I got connected through WADA, that's Western Arkansas Tennis Association, I was a treasurer for a couple of years there. And I mean, you just get to meet some of the coolest people ever. And if you like the sport, that's amazing. You have a lot of people that never played in their life, and it's just a great organization. They have great tennis teachers. Emma Jean is one of them. Amazing person. You just get to learn. You play tennis at Creekmore tennis courts. I mean,
which are scheduled to be redone soon.
So
super exciting.
And the widened sidewalks, like it all makes such a big difference.
Yeah, it really
We're excited for that, and the Christmas lights.
It's coming
out there.
I know you guys aren't corporate relocators because like you're from here, you came here for basketball and things, but I think you guys are definitely qualified to answer this question. What would you say to someone who is looking to relocate for work to Fort Smith but is afraid of those feelings of what if I don't get connected? What if I'm lonely? My family's miles away, hundreds of miles away, hundreds of thousands of miles, wherever they are. What advice would you give to them for those corporate relocators moving here?
So I think like socially, because there's like a work side of this and a social side, but if you put yourself out there, like Fort Smith will catch you. It's not a place that you ever have to feel like vulnerable to not be included and things like that. Because I know that there's a group of people here that gather simply to gather and get to know each other and one another. And so there's totally that environment. And then more on like the work side of transitioning here, like the business community is so connected too. And I think that can translate to your personal life as well. And the format of which Fort Smith exists right now, it invites contributors. So what I mean by saying that is like the Fort Smith community is the perfect place to come where you want to be a contributor. If you want to make a difference, if you want to get involved, it's the best decision because we're the perfect size. We have a great momentum. Like there's some sort of movement, and I know a lot of people feel it. Joe, you're a huge part of it. You too, Josh, both of you guys. I've felt the shift since, y'all have just been even doing your work together, but there's energy and there's a direction, and it's an exciting place to be. So whether you want to get connected socially or contribute meaningfully through work, or even just through the local government and making just change or just investing, this community needs people to come here and to invest in it and to believe in it and to love other people. So
it's accessible, it's not out of reach.
And it's to that point too, it's again, I come from a whole nother country, another culture, and it is amazing to me how transparent everything is. I mean, there's some, I think it's Tuesdays. There's some Tuesdays, Maddie can attest to this. Like I'll pull up the board of directors meeting and I'll just watch it just to stay informed. And if you want to, that literally it's all one. I used to work at AIC, the Arkansas College of Health Education, as a recruiter, and we would get a lot of kids from different places all over the United States. It's an amazing place. And we would always have those conversations with them. And the way that I very narrowly handled it typically is that like you have a conversation with them, you find out what they like. A lot of kids that age, they play sports and stuff. And I can attest, like I'm an athlete. When I graduated college, I went and played soccer. There's a Hispanic league. There's 2 divisions on the north side. I can't remember if we played at Kimmons or something like that, but it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like you can do that. I played tennis. We played pickleball sometimes. There's a volleyball league locally that you can go sand. Yeah, like Ben Guerin has amazing sand courts. I don't know if you, I'm sure you knew.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean and it really, those sand courts, I'm pretty sure they were just the community movement. People were collecting dues for playing some volleyball games on Friday nights and Sunday
They
nights.
needed another court. Yeah.
Yeah,
They
they
went
just
for it.
they just built courts.
That's amazing.
So it's such a like self-driving community, you know.
You're touching on it now, talking about the volleyball course and stuff that y'all do. But for people who are listening who don't want to move here, but they want to come and visit, what would you recommend to them? Like what has kept you guys around here outside of work? Like where are you going? Where are you eating?
Oh, food.
What are you doing for fun?
We're
I love hearing this.
We are such foodies, like, and I think we cook a lot at home, you know, because budget and all that good stuff, and the waistline sometimes.
I'm the hard guy on the.
Yeah, but I mean, actually, I was thinking about one of our like classic restaurants that we go to. Our first date was Rolando's.
Yeah.
And I thought this is a hilarious story, but our first date, DC picks me up in this Dodge Charger. We go into Rolando's at the OG location on Garrison, you know, their older location. And we have a great date. And then later on, I come to find out the car wasn't his. The belt that he was wearing wasn't his. The pants weren't yours either. I'm pretty sure.
The jeans I borrowed from a teammate. The belt, I can't remember who I took the belt from. It's a communal
That's
thing.
funny. That's literally fake it till you make it.
Literally. I mean,
And then you made it. So
It worked, man.
very resourceful.
I'm the definition of it.
that's so funny.
But there was that. It was that
It's a great
old
restaurant.
location Rolando's had on Garrison over there, and there was a waiter.
Yeah,
That's Tony.
Yeah.
He's French. He's from France.
Yeah.
And I hope he's doing well. We haven't seen him in a really long time, but he was our waiter. And so every year we'd go back there for our anniversaries.
Yeah.
For,
We had our reception there. So we had a very quaint wedding. I mean, we were spending like thousands on our application fees and such for like just all of the things. Worth it.
Thank you.
But it was like it was the best thing ever. We just went upstairs and reserved a little corner and had the most meaningful gathering with our family. But great food, great place. The list goes on. We love our Indian cuisine like Desi Fusion or R&R curry. We love our Vietnamese and Thai.
Yeah, so in case
good.
you didn't know, Maddie is quarter Vietnamese. And so we get the benefit. Her grandma lives in Greenwood. And so we get the benefit of every Saturday morning we can go over there and eat an authentic bowl of pho.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's nice.
It's hard to beat.
Yeah.
We're spoiled.
That's bragging rights
But,
right there.
Yeah. It's so good. It is so good. But I think the Vietnamese culture here is amazing. I love it. The grocery stores like Trung Sung and then Midland Market. There's just there's a really vibrant Asian community in Fort Smith, which I've been exposed to, and I love it so much. But yeah, I mean, Thai food too. It's just, you could go down the list.
Another thing that I want to mention too that I tell people to do is just get engaged with the university. I mean, I think we're so fortunate to have, I mean, obviously that's what brought me here, but we're so fortunate to have that. Like, I'll give you an example. This week, or it may have been, it was Monday. Like UFAS hosted International Festival on Monday night, and they had booths for different countries. I took our Luca out there. We had some food from different places, and Noah Schmidt leads that from UFAS, and it's such a cool thing because we have some military members from Poland, and they were manning the booth out there, and so it's cool. You get to actually talk to people that are from another country. And it's free. Like
Yeah.
you just show up there,
Yeah.
you take an hour out of your day. And for me, selfishly, obviously for us, like I want our kid to experience that. I want him to get exposed to those things.
Yeah.
He mostly threw stuff around there, but
And he had a Polish flag.
He had
was
a Polish-
walking around
so-
with.
Oh, awesome.
he had a
Yeah.
Polish flag by the time
Yeah.
we came back.
That's
so.
cool.
And then Tuesday was toy toss.
Tuesday
I think
was
it
toy toss.
Yeah.
That was one of the funnest always because I
Yeah.
always played a UFAS for toy toss games. But that's another thing. Like athletic events at UFAS too are such a family friendly thing
And
that like
expensive too.
yeah, I
So,
mean
and enjoy.
yeah, we left at 5:45, pulled up there at 6. Game started at 6. We threw our toys and watched the game and left in 5 minutes, 10 minutes. We were at home. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of places that you can do that.
Yeah.
And Fort Smith is very unique and fortunate for that.
Yeah.
So,
I just thank you guys for being guests on the podcast today. Thank you for really reminding me, honestly, of the importance of community. I think sometimes you can get wrapped up in the day-to-day and not have that grander perspective on the people that are around you. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for being on today.
Thank you for having us.
yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.